anything over and above 25,000, I want to convert into a sweep. So what happens is the moment you deposit some money into your account, um, above that threshold, in our example, it is 25,000, above that threshold, whatever is the amount, it gets converted into fixed deposit. But we need not worry about it. Whenever there is a need, even when you're drawing in the ATM, it will be as good as your savings account balance. So what is the benefit? The benefit is the interest rate. So savings banks pays you about 3.5 right now, whereas you will get about 5 to 6% in your FDs. So as long as you are not using your additional income, that can be converted into FD. So this is the savings account. So we'll move on to the.
You're audible.
Am I audible? I'm audible, right?
Yeah, Pratisha, you are.
Yes, yes, Pratish.
So in savings account, if there are children, I want you to see this picture. You will get a passbook, you'll get a debit card if you're about 10, you'll get your checkbook. And what you need to do is all you need to do is to deposit whatever savings you have and withdraw it whenever you like. And nowadays you have the internet banking option, mobile banking option. Just at the convenience of your phone, you can do all your transactions. So these are the general facilities that everybody will get in a savings account. So what is a current account? Quickly, it is similar. Only thing is there's no interest paid on current account. If you're doing business, there are a lot of checks coming in, going out. People pay you in various ways. So you may need a lot of banking service like overdraft facilities, lot of checkbooks. Your bills may have to be collected. So this type of account is very good for institutions. Generally, business entities go for this. Even individuals can also go if you are a business person and you want a lot of support from the bank in terms of number of transactions and other facilities. Overdraft facility is one such, wherein even if you do not have balance in your account, if a check hits your account, it will be cleared to the extent bank gives you the overdraft facility. Who can open? Everybody can open. Individuals, singly, jointly, associations, everybody. All the documents that are relevant to each each category has to be submitted. We move on to the next thing. Fixed deposit. Fixed deposit is nothing but a saving in a saving some good amount. Minimum it starts from even 5,000 also. So just for an example, you have 10,000 rupees, you want to keep it for 12 months, you want better interest rate. Right now it is about 5.85. I've taken 6% as example here. So stay invested for 12 months and you will get 6% interest. And this interest can be paid to you as per your liking. It can be quarterly, monthly, it can be on maturity in whatever way you like. If you want, you can encash it in between. Some schemes come with penalty of 1%. Some schemes do not come with penalty. I am a banker, I'm working in Punjab National Bank, and my bank doesn't charge for the Sugam deposits. That is what is majorly done. There is no charges for closure of account. So you can renew it a number of times. And if there is a need for money, you can take a loan on your FD. It is very easy, easily processed because your FD is with the bank and it just takes about a half an hour to 1 hour. That's it. So this is a small example. I've taken a calculator. Just if you want to put 10,000 on 21st July 2020 for about 12 months, this 1 year, maturity date will be next year, 21st July, and at the rate of 5.15, if you invest 10,000, your maturity amount will be 10,525. Recurring deposits. Recurring deposit is something like wherein you have to invest small amounts. If you like to invest small amounts every month out of your savings, you will go for a fixed small amount to be invested every month. You will deposit in your bank. All these can be opened in even mobile banking, internet banking also nowadays. So you can just open a recurring deposit in your mobile banking as well. But all you need to do is you have to keep on investing on the same day for 12 months. So same day or before for 12 months. If at all you miss the day, the entire period will also change accordingly by 1 or 2 days. So this is the best way to save for small goals. Say you're paying an insurance premium. You want to pay 12,000 rupees premium in the month of say next July. So how do we do it? We'll open an RD account just to lessen our burden, a way of managing things. So you can just open an RD account for 1,000 rupees, and by next year you will have 12,000 rupees in your account, and that will also come with a small interest. So this is like the small drops of water make an ocean kind of thing. So please encourage children also. If you have a bank nearby, they can go and put even 100 rupees RDs can also be opened. For smaller goals, RD is a best way of doing. And also if you want to donate we have a reaching hand organization. If you want to donate amount to them in a year or something, so you want to invest a little and do it, you can opt for it. And it's a good account for all salaried class and also children to inculcate the habit of savings. So these are the basic products. FDs and RDs can also be used to build up your contingency fund. What is contingency fund? Now Corona is going, everybody knows. And I mean, we are seeing a lot of people losing jobs, etc. So if you can plan a little bit, um, so recurring deposits, you can just start saving for at least 3 months of your salary. If you are a salaried person, start saving what is the general expenses for 3 months, or what is my salary for 3 months if I lose a job or if something happens. So minimum 3 months salary you can keep it ready by way of recurring deposit, or you already have funds, you can go for a FD. So this is how an RD is. You will put 1,000 rupees for 12 months. Just an example, if senior citizen is here, because senior citizens get a 0.5 to 0.75 extra. In my bank right now 0.75, they'll be paid extra because senior citizens live on the interest rates. So the start date, okay, just the start date, if on the completion of 1 year, the amount paid will be 12,334. So just like as I said, if you want to donate somewhere, if you want to save for an insurance, you want to gift somebody, you want to buy certain small things for yourself. So this is an encouraging way to inculcate the habit of saving also. So I'm moving to Public Provident Fund. Till now, any doubts? No doubts, right? Anyone wants to ask something? Okay, so I'll move on to this Public Provident Fund. What is a Public Provident Fund account? Very important account. Everybody must have a savings account, and everybody must also have a PPF account. Why PPF account is important? It comes with lot of benefits, and this is a long-term investment account. So if you see the details, you can invest from say 500 rupees to 1,50,000 in a financial year. That is the maximum you can invest in the PPF account for an year. So the current rate of interest is 7.1. If you look at the fixed deposits also, it was 5.85. Savings account just 3.5. So this gives you the higher rate of interest. And the loan facilities are available from third financial year onwards. In case if you take the loan on your PPF also, it will be 1% interest, that's all. And one withdrawal is also permissible from 7th financial year onwards. When I show the calculation, you'll understand it better. But what I want to tell is this is a 15 years account. The account will go on for 15 years. So everybody must plan for this long-term investment, especially because most of us have private jobs, or we want to save for our future in a consistent way. So this helps you to build up a fund for building a house or education of your children, vice versa, or just your retired life. So 15 years is the minimum required term here. Whatever money you want to invest in this should be something which you will not touch for 15 years ideally. But in case there is an emergency, you can go for withdrawal. But I would suggest put only whatever you can stay in here for about 15 years. And once there is once the maturity happens, it can be extended for a block of 5 years. Very important PPF account in our lives. Just don't miss this. See the calculation. Deposit amount minimum is 500, but I'm thinking that all of us will go for 1,50,000 maximum. We'll exhaust this because it also comes with a ATC deduction benefit. So whatever you deposit is not taxable. You can claim it in your IT return. So 1,50,000, say a person invests by April 5th of a financial year. Why April 5th is you can deposit here every month also. About 12 deposits a year can be made. However, like if you can do it by April 1st, this calculation holds good. So the number of deposits per year here I have taken is only one. That means I am putting 1,50,000 in the month of April. You have to invest before 5th of a month to get the interest rate for that month. And at the rate of 7.1, after completion of 15 years, your total deposits will be 2250, means 22,50,000. And look at the maturity amount. It's 40,68,000. The total interest paid to you stands at 18,18,000. This is the real-time calculator I have used. So what we need to remember is that PPF is one of the best vehicles, and you can keep on renewing it for, extending it for every 5 years. Once you complete 15 years, it holds good, especially for your pension or retired life purpose. All your deposits are ATC eligible. Interest on PPF is also exempt under Section 10. Which means your total maturity amount, whatever 40 lakhs you will get after 15 years, is totally tax exempt. I mean, I don't think there's any other product like this. Some of the insurance products have some of the features, but as of now, PPF is like totally maturity is tax free. So what else? You need not pay tax on this. So this is the best one to take. And amount in the PPF is not subject to attachment under any order or decree of a court of law. What do we mean by this? So in case a person goes bankrupt or something, nobody can touch your money in PPF. So you can be assured, if you're a businessman, there are issues or whatever, in whatever situation we can take, but finally the amount cannot be touched by any court of law, which means that this is available for your family, for yourself to have a decent living. Yeah, I've already said that is good for pension corpus. So who can open? Everybody, all individuals, parents on behalf of minor children. You can do it on behalf of your sons and daughters also. So no joint account is permitted here. It will be an individual account. So there will be nomination facility. You can nominate, give the forms in the bank. So yeah, if at all we go for this 15-year term and say our policy has, our PPF has matured, if you extend this PPF for 5 years without further deposits, you don't deposit anything, you just give a letter to the bank 6 months prior to your 6 months prior to the completion of 15 years, you need to approach your bank and tell them that I want to extend my PPF for another 5-year period. So once you do that, just look at the total deposit amount, 40 lakhs. Your maturity amount stands at 57. For 5 years, the total interest paid will be 1664, and entire 57 is tax free. So worth investing in PPF. Everybody should have it. Please open a PPF account. If you do not have, open it in your name, your spouse name, and kids name also.
So sister, here I have one question. We have savings account. For PPF account, do we need to have separate account, or existing saving account is
It
enough
is a
to?
account, brother. So savings account is a bank product. PPF account comes under the government. We call it as a government business module. This is a government product. You have to open it separately. You have to give your form and ID proof, address proof, and all. Forms are available online. Just one
Okay.
copy of address proof, ID proof, and photo. Even for Kevin, also for small children, also you can open.
So for Kevin, the amount which I pay, right, 1,50,000 per year, can I show it in 80C in my Form 16? Like
Yes, yes. The parents' PAN number will be taken, and you can show. You can show that.
I can
Because
show, right? Okay. Okay, sister.
the total deposit should not exceed 1,50,000. Means if you have a PPF of 1.5 and you are also doing it on Kevin's name, so you can only claim either of it or a sum of
Okay.
it also. So you have to plan it accordingly. But
Sure,
however,
sure.
yeah, even if you exhaust 1.5 on both sides also, it is okay. You can go for the first 1,50,000, whichever you want to claim tax deduction for. Still, it holds good because maturity is tax free.
Yeah.
I'll move
Okay,
on.
sister. Thank
Sukanya.
you. Yeah.
So Sukanya Samruddhi scheme, it is for girl children below 10 years only. The first question will be like, okay, if I have a girl child above 10 years, very simple, open PPF account. If I have a if I have a boy child, then open PPF account. So don't worry, the percentage of interest is little bit high. This is done by the government in order to encourage girl children, their education, marriage, etc. So this account can be opened for children who are below the age of 10 in across all post offices and branches of authorized banks. Birth certificate is mandatory. Account can be opened here for 250 rupees minimum. In PPF it was 500, we have seen. This will be 250 minimum, up to 1,50,000 maximum deposits in a year. Again, just like Ketiraju brother asked, if you have to claim for deduction under 80C, then I mean you can claim also, because as a parent your PAN number will be taken and you can claim deduction. It is as good as you depositing the money in that account as far as the deposits are concerned. So the interest rate will change from time to time, but right now it is at 7.6%. One withdrawal at the age of 18 years can be done to meet any education expenses of the balance which you have deposited till that time. So it will vary from person to person, right? And account is transferable. But I would insist that you open the PPF account or Sukanya account in a bank where you already have your savings account, because you can link it to your net banking and you can do all the transactions, deposits at the convenience of your home. So this is the best way to do. And the account will mature on completion of 21 years from the date of opening of account or on the marriage of the account holder, whichever is earlier. So I'll move on to senior citizens savings scheme. Okay, if you have older parents, if you have somebody who is asking you like, what can I do? I have some lump sum amount. I need to invest it so as to get a monthly income or a quarterly income, because senior citizens depend on this income for their monthly expenditure. So this is the best account. This can be opened at the age of 60 years, and for some it is 50 years. Some exceptions are there for defense person, etc. A depositor can open an account individually or jointly, and the in multiples of 1,000 and not exceeding 15 lakhs. Why 15 lakhs? Because they would have already got their retirement corpus from wherever they have retired. So that is the reason they can open up to 15 lakhs. Interest is payable on quarterly basis. And the account can be closed after expiry of 5 years, or it can be also extended as required. Better not to go for premature closure, but there are some conditions they can go for it also. Then it is admissible. SCS deposits qualify for 80C. So what is this product? See, I just want to tell, as a person, I have worked in insurance also. I would like to tell, in insurance companies, they would give you annuity policies. Annuity policies means you go to them and tell them that I have 15 lakhs. I mean, put it in a policy, put it in an annuity plan and give me monthly income. So definitely compared to the annuity plan of any insurance company, senior citizen savings scheme pays you at the rate of 7.40. So this will be one of the highest interest paying deposits. So you must consider this for your older parents. So these are the current rate of interests that are prevailing. Sukanya at 7.6, senior citizen 7.4, PPF 7.1. I've shown you in the PPT also same interest rates. There are some more deposits. These are post office deposits. Kisan Vikas Patra, 5-year NSE, recurring deposit 5.8%. So right now you can compare. Sometimes actually most of the times post office give you a better interest. So if you have a post office nearby, you want to invest there, you have some good money with you, you can do that. Or banks also are fine. It's okay. So I'll move on to my main subject today.
At this level, ask.
At this level, yeah, any Q&A, like anything regarding banking, because I will move on to insurance now. Any questions, please tell me now. Any questions?
Sister, is there any plan which will give us a monthly basis interest so that money we can deposit in PPF or savings account or recurring deposit? Like you said, right, for senior citizen lump sum amount you can deposit and you can get interest. That interest can be availed on monthly basis or not?
Yes, it comes under quarterly basis. This SCSS senior citizen scheme, it pays only on quarterly basis.
Okay. So like that's what quarterly. I don't want to withdraw that interest amount. I want to make a payment for another account. Is that automated? Is that possible? Because we will get some lump sum amount. We want to open an account for my parents, so that interest part we will pay for some EPF account kind of stuff.
Okay, so when we generally open the account in the bank, what we see is from whichever account you are opening the SCSS scheme, to the same account, interest will go on quarterly basis. So just keep a savings account wherein you will not touch that amount. Let the interest come and you can reuse it that way. You can manage it that way.
Okay.
But yeah, it won't be redirected automatically.
Okay.
You have to just make that convenience for yourself and see what you can do, maybe with the net banking or something, but it will just come to your savings account from which you have made the senior citizen account. It has to be ideally from your parents' account only.
Sure. Thank you.
So
just had a question. Yeah, for senior citizens, I mean, what would you suggest to open? I mean, is there an option like opening PPF for senior citizens, or is there any other scheme that is good? I mean, for senior citizens, like for example, PPF, do we get a higher interest rate for senior citizens?
No. If you will not get extra interest for a senior citizen. It stands fixed at 7.1%. Just a second. Can you just ask your question once again?
Yeah, sure, sister. As in, I was just asking, like, if you open a PPF account for a senior citizen, so do we get a higher rate of interest? If not, are there any other good saving schemes like you just suggested, SSCC that scheme? Are there any other good options for senior citizens?
Brother, good morning. I am Raju Babu, father of
Yeah, good morning, brother.
Yeah. regarding the higher differential rate of interest any paid on the PPF account, our answer is no. Interest is same to everybody.
Okay.
And uh, uh, um, you want a particular scheme for senior citizens, and which have which may get a higher rate of interest means there is one monthly income scheme
Okay.
like our senior citizen scheme. Now, senior citizen scheme, my daughter Pratyusha has explained, in which rate of interest is 7.4. And in post office, there is one monthly income scheme wherein you will get monthly interest at the rate of 6.6. So these are
Okay.
the best options available for senior citizens. But there is one more scheme operated by the Life Insurance Corporation of India for
Okay.
citizens, but that is a long-term account where they pay a monthly interest of 8%.
Okay.
But you can withdraw your money as easily as you can do in this monthly income scheme or PPF account. So our advice is better uh, let the senior citizens have this senior citizens scheme account. That is better. And
Okay.
15 up to 15 lakhs, the amount can be deposited, and the quarterly good the quantum of amount they can earn. And if the supposing somebody's father is 60 years, that can be
Hmm.
opened. Mother is also 60 years, one more account for 15 lakhs can be opened. So there is 30 lakhs can be deposited, and a good interest of at the rate of 7.4 every quarter they will get. So this
Okay.
is brother. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Uncle.
So these are the options. I'll move on to insurance. Anyone wants a break for 2 minutes? You're able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes, sister, we are able to see.
So, Joshua brother, what my father spoke is this one, the post office monthly income scheme, 6.66% interest. I mean, the third one from the last, wherein you can deposit a higher amount in single as 5 lakhs or 4.5 or joint 9 lakhs, 6.6 interest compared to the bank FD, which is like 5.25 plus senior citizens 0.75, it is coming to 6%. So this gives you 6.6. You can also explore the LIC option.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, sister.
Just to add on to that, PPF for a senior citizen, you will have to lock in the money for minimum 15 years, right? So which may not be a very good option in case you want liquidity. So normally I personally do not recommend a PPF for a senior citizen. But in case of emergency, you are not able to get in cash that. It's a long process, a lot of documentation required, even if required in case
Okay.
of.
Yeah, regarding senior PPF account for senior citizens, yeah, account can be opened. Anyway, a senior citizen like me of 60 years, I have to keep the account. And commonly, what the senior parents do, they leave it as an inheritance to their children after their death. So, with that purpose, senior citizen of now even 60 years or 65 can open the PPF account, and he can leave this to his children because the funds are tax free. Whether I have answered you properly, Sunil brother? Hello? Hello, Sunil brother, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
Yeah, whether I have answered your query.
Kind of.
You tell me clearly your question and let me understand properly.
No. So I said that PPF normally is not really recommended for a senior citizen to open it at that time,
Yeah,
because you block in it for a period of 15 years, and then taking out before 15 years could be a problem in case of an emergency if you have to withdraw the corpus.
yeah. For
That's
that,
why it's not recommended here.
yeah. It is not recommended for senior citizens to
Yeah.
open a fresh account. But if they have an account, then they will continue and bequeath it to their progeny. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So I am moving on to the main subject of the day, term insurance. And
Insurance will tell you your qualification.
okay. So yeah, I have done my PGD in life insurance from Institute of Insurance and Risk Management, Hyderabad. And that's why I'm so passionate about telling about insurance to others. It is a very basic need nowadays. We see a lot of people suffering because there is absence of health insurance, or the term insurance is not taken, and the family goes through a lot of suffering. If we can just manage this small part of taking the right insurance with a very base premiums, we can ensure that our family and friends are all taken care. The protection is available. So my main subject for today, insurance. I'll be discussing term insurance in detail. I will also give you a comparison for endowment, unit linked insurance and whole life. And then I will move on to health insurance. So be ready to go for term insurance now. So what is term insurance? Before I go into what is term insurance, let us see. This is a beautiful family where they are riding on a bicycle. And imagine both of the parents are working and they are contributing to this happiness of the family financially, what I mean. And what will happen if before I start this section, I may say like I may use the word death, so please don't get offended because the and subject is about the event called death. So I will try my best to put it in better words. So if at all something happens to one of the parent, one of the earning member, can we quantify the loss? Just say a person of 35-year-old earning a lakh per month. If he loses his life, what would be the financial loss to the family for next 30-40 years, especially when the children are studying maybe for another 20 years? So what would be the kind of loss? It will be really huge. So what is the funda that we should know in order to cover ourselves properly? And what are the premium rates? Generally, that will be a question, like how much I need to shell out. And if you go to the insurance agents, they may give you some big amount policies, because they also have to earn their life, and they depend on the commissions and all. So this is a very this is not a marketing session. I'm not promoting any particular product here. I have tried my best to include various insurance companies products just for the study purpose. And this is just for your study purpose. I want everybody to understand about term insurance and health insurance in particular. So what is term insurance? So term insurance is nothing but life insurance in which the insurer provides you coverage. So what is covered here? Death is the uncertain event that is covered, and what you pay here as a consideration is the premium. It is called premium, and the period of time, generally it is 1 year. That it is called term. The term of the plan will be 30 years, 40 years, but you will pay the premium say yearly. And if at all the life insured dies during the term, the sum assured will be paid to the nominee. If the insured survives, nothing will be paid. Don't worry. Don't worry when I say nothing will be paid, because the concept of insurance is, if there are a group of people and they say they pool some money, if something happens to one of them, they agree that they will pay to that person because the family will suffer financially. So this is the basic fundamental thing about insurance, and we have to buy this base product itself with no additions. So insurance means if something happens to me during another 30 years or 20 years of my life, whatever term that you will want to get yourself insured, if something happens to me at this point of time, I have my dependents, and they should not suffer financially to some extent. So this is the purpose for which we need to take insurance. So term insurance, as I named it in the heading, is the cheapest way you can cover, and it is required for every earning member of the family, even if they are females, and even if it is a housewife also, their services can be quantified to some extent. We cannot quantify completely, but to the extent everybody is contributing, this is required. So who needs it? So anybody who has a financial dependence would require it. If you have an asset to protect, say you have taken a housing loan singly or jointly. Say you have taken a joint loan, your wife is working, both of you have taken a joint loan. Now what will happen if one of them, if something happens to one of them? So you won't be able to pay your EMIs, and the bank will take the property. So we don't want to go through such unpleasant things. Um, if there are any doubts, I'll answer at the end. So just kindly hold on till I explain the policy. So, so if you have assets to protect, if it is a joint loan, go for a joint policy. If it is a single loan, get it insured to the extent you have taken the loan. So that you are assured this loan you have taken is for you or your family. It will be there. No bank because of non-payment of premiums on the death of the loan holder. And nowadays there are a lot of ailments, so we all know it very well. So anytime something can hit us. So in order to insure ourselves from all these things, first of all is to take care of our family. So this is the main motto of term insurance or any insurance. And what is the best age to take it? The best age to take it will be the earlier the age at which you take, the lesser the premium. So, and the premium will continue for the entire term of the plan. So a person in 30s taking a plan paying 10,000, if the same plan for same amount of money has to be taken by a person at the age of 40, 45, the premium will be really high. Of course, there will be changes in terms of GST, etc. However, there will be a gap between ages, the way the premium is charged by the insurance companies. So what to avoid? We have to avoid buying costly endowment plans and market oriented plans. If you do not have any insurance, first you have to go for term insurance. If you still have money, you can consider endowment plans and ULIPs, etc. However, they are costly and also they have a higher premium paying term. Today it might look very good. I'll pay 1 lakh for a year, but for 30 years, there will be a lot of commitments like children's education, etc., which may not allow us to pay a lot of premium towards that. So yeah, and that is the thing to avoid. And how much is sufficient coverage? So very simply, I have put it here: 20 to 30 times of your annual income is required in order to have a reasonable coverage. So example, if somebody is earning, I have taken 3 lakhs as if a person is earning 3 lakhs per annum, not per month, annual income of 3 lakhs, then he must be insured for 60 to 90 lakhs sum assured. That is 20 to 30 times of the income. So I am in my 30s. I earn about say 3 lakhs, for example, and tomorrow something happens to me, my family may require about 60 to 90 lakhs of financial support in my absence. That is because that is what I'm contributing. I'm contributing 3 lakhs every year. So if I'm not there around, not earning, then this much is required. So you need not be worried like there will be a lot of high premiums, etc. Just see the next slide, you'll understand. So I've taken ICICI Pru's iProtect Smart. Previously, I have worked with SBI Life Insurance for about 7 years after my postgraduate program in life insurance. So I've taken a basic product to explain because the brochure was good. I took this. So there are 4 variants. Let us only look at the first variant, which is life. They have called the benefit option as life. So life covers death benefit. It covers terminal illness, and there is a waiver of premium on disability. So we are only concerned here about death benefit. That is what I'm talking about. It is called term insurance, pure term insurance. If you look at the sample premiums down there, in the age category 30, a person aged 30 has to pay 9,500 rupees for 1 crore of insurance. So terminal illness means almost death. Like if at all a person has gone through a big accident or something, and he is like considered to be almost dead, like nothing is working, mobility is affected, in that case also they will pay out the sum assured. So no worries. And any rest of the premium also need not be paid on any disability. So this is the basic coverage I'm talking about. Here, to complicate things little bit, they have given some additions like death benefit, accident cover, etc. in the second option. I don't want to confuse. If you want to if you want me to explain, I'll explain. Any questions? Okay, I'll go ahead. So I'll just simply explain. Accidental death benefit is if the death is due to accident, an additional sum assured is also paid, say 1 crore or to whatever extent you opt. But that comes with a premium. That comes, if you see the Life Plus, it is 15,000. So almost another 6,000 they are charging. And the third one comes with an accelerated critical illness benefit. Critical illnesses, if you ask them for the entire brochure, it will be a big chart of ailments. All health ailments will be there. So once an event is triggered, means if a person is diagnosed with a critical illness, there is an additional, it is an accelerated benefit. An additional of 25 lakhs will be paid. So the premium they have quoted here is for 25 lakhs in the third option, life and health. I mean, without accident death benefit. So it is 14,588. And if you want everything, if you want, see, accidental death coverage is required for people who are on the marketing field. If you are traveling a lot, then it is okay to go for it. But we have very cheap products available in the health insurance category also for this. So I don't want you to load this term insurance with any of this. Just go for the basic variant. 30 years age 9,500 or 35, 40, 45, 50. Go for only the life part of it, or go for only the basic term insurance. No need for any additionals. So that is what I wanted to tell about term insurance. So there are some term insurances where they say that there's a return of premium. For example, we have checked the second product here. It's not very clear. ICICI Pru iProtect Smart. Say they charge you 13,000. They will tell you that we'll give you back all your premiums at the end of the term. So once you go for such a plan, your premium will be like 25,000, which is again not required. This being a closed group, I want to tell you that please go for the basic variant only. Do not go for any return of premium products. Insurance means if I die in the next 20, 30 years, please pay my family. You're telling the insurance company, please pay my family some assured. That's it. That's all I need. I don't want return of premiums. So that is the basic product called insurance. You need to go for it without the other additions. What I mean is, do not think that they are giving you the premiums back. So what happens here is, if you see the annual premium payment part here, we have seen iPru's iProtect Smart. So this premium is called a little bit into the insurance. It is called risk premium. Means this premium is required for the company to give you insurance, because they are charging, you are a 30-year-old person, they are charging like, say how much is the population for 30-year-olds in our country? Approximately. Okay, say people who are insured are like 50 lakhs people have insured. That means out of this 50 lakhs 30-year-olds, if something happens to some of them, everybody will not die. So there is a calculation that's called actuarial sciences. So on that basis, they derive these premiums, they arrive at these premiums. So the thing is, they need this in their pool, because if something happens among this group, they have to pay you from this only. They will pay from whatever everybody has contributed. So this cannot be touched by any insurance company. The 13,391 has to go into the risk premium pool. The rest of the money which they charge you, if you see the difference premium 12,539, they will invest in some bank deposits or mutual funds wherever they like, and they will pay you back. But we feel the satisfaction that, okay, we are getting the money back, which is not true. So that's the reason I said, please go for the basic variants only. So I'll move on to health insurance, or you have any questions, please ask me. Sorry, I have one more slide to take, but if you have any questions on term insurance, you can ask me now. No questions? Okay.
Hi, Sister Joshua here. So you were saying like it's best advice to go only for the basic term insurance plan without any add-ons. So like so you would you suggest going for a normal term insurance and along with that maybe some health insurance or something like that, or as in you were saying maybe for accidental death and things like that there are other policies. So I mean, is that something you'll be covering in under the health insurance or?
No, yeah, health insurance is separate. Again, I'll discuss the basic variant of health insurance after this. Okay, so I'm just going
Okay.
into health insurance now. So
Okay.
as far as life insurance is concerned, the risk called death is concerned, please go for a basic variant of term insurance. Please note it and keep everybody. I just want everybody to know this because it will be of help for so many of our friends and family. Even those who cannot afford also, even our maids and all can go for this. There are these government schemes like Pradhana Mantri Jeevan Bima Yojana and all. It just comes for 300 rupees, 2 lakhs insurance. So as I said, insurance means you're entrusting a company. If something happens to me in the next this many years, please pay my family. I'm paying you the premium. That's all. So I have discussed, yes, there are other health insurance issues, which I will discuss now. So you will get a clarity. So if you have to write it like this, you need a savings account, you need a PPF account till now, and you need a term insurance. So you may have to note like this. And I'll just give you a comparison of this. What if you go for other plans? So this slide, my dad was very particular that I should include. Otherwise, you will not understand what I'm telling. If you see the first variant, that is that I have taken SBI life insurance products here. The first one is the Smart Shield, which I'm talking about is the term plan. All premiums calculated in the real-time calculator. Yesterday I have done for 30-year-olds, sum assured for 25 lakhs. Look at the premium for term insurance. The premium for 25 lakhs insurance is just 4,263 for a 30-year-old person. And the premium payment term is 30 years, which means you have to pay every year for 30 years. So what if you do not pay? They'll give you a grace period of 15 days. If not, then the insurance will not hold good. So you have to be really careful with the date of payment of premiums. And maturity benefit, no maturity benefit, as I said. There's nothing you will get back. What you will get back? It's like you want to say something.
Yeah.
Very lot.
Explain all that, then I will.
Okay. What is endowment plan? So the next plan is endowment plan. Endowment variant, if you go for, what will you get is, they will tell you, we'll give you one sum assured. That is, we'll give you 25 lakhs if death happens during the 30 years of the term of the plan. Okay. And they will tell you, if you survive, we will give you maturity value. So what is that maturity value? That is the minimum of 37 lakhs to a maximum of 59. Why is it like this? It is like this because the insurance company will declare a bonus if they make profits, and that bonus is added to your sum assured and they will pay you like this. So it will vary. Your maturity benefit will vary. What I mean to say is, if nothing happens to me in the next 30 years for which I have taken a policy, then the insurance company will pay me 37 lakhs, a minimum of 37 lakhs. Just look at the premium now. Just for the same insurance, 30-year-old, 25 lakhs, the premium is 70,700. Can you see the difference? I told the basic variant is 4,263, whereas endowment plan will ask you to pay 73,700. What are they doing here? They are just taking your money and paying you back. That's it. So this is for your satisfaction. So I would say you have to manage. Invest only 4,263. Rest of the money, please manage it yourself. That is my suggestion. So whole life endowment plan. What is this? So the whole life plan, it's slightly different from normal endowment. If there is a death within the term, sum assured will be paid, no doubt. If there is no death, basically there's no death, you will be paid maturity value, just like how I said in endowment, plus death any time after that. Say plus 30 years, now I take a policy. Within next 30 years, nothing happened to me. At the end of 30 years, they gave me some 37 lakhs. Again, anytime there is death will happen, no, death is certain. So 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, kabhi bhi ho, whenever the death happens, they will pay one more sum assured to the nominees. So generally people take this in order to leave a legacy. You want to write it to your reaching hand, you want to write it to your NLF trust, or you want to write it to your children like that. So whenever I die, let some money to some people. So go for this. And ULIP plans are nothing but, one second. Okay. ULIP plan gives you sum assured if something happens during the term on death. So death benefit is there. This
പ്രവീൺ യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി പോകുന്നവരെ ഒന്നും മിണ്ടായിരുന്നു.
So just look at these two plans. Okay, I'll go for the last plan because it comes with a 25 lakhs sum assured. For the same 25 lakhs insurance, you're paying 2,50,000 here. A whooping 2,50,000 rupees for the same plan, policy ULIP plan. You can go to the website, you can calculate all this yourself also. Yesterday I've done it with the same term, same age, etc. And what they will tell you is, if at all something happens during the term, they will pay my family 25 lakhs. If you survive, we will pay you fund value. No, so the fund value, what is the fund value? The fund value will be, if you take 2,50,000 into 30 years, the amount you have paid yourself will be 75 lakhs. And they will give you somewhere between 1.1 crore to 2.1 crore. Just look at the amount of premium you are paying for just 25 lakhs insurance. And you see the first column. For the same 25 lakhs, you are just paying about 4,000 to 5,000. So that is why I said, like, okay, in ULIP plans, what they do is they invest the rest of the money in the markets. They invest in equities or balanced or growth fund. I'm not a very pro at it, so I'm not going into the details of that. That can be taken by some experts. So here also I have chosen some funds. That is the thing. So they invest on your behalf. So would you like to go for something? If you can manage yourself, that is the best thing, is go for a pure term plan. The rest of the money, please manage yourself. Put it in PPF, put it in your FD, or put it in your mutual funds. You need to work on it. That's all. That's all. And for taking a term insurance, the company may require you to give your photographs, ID proof, address proof. That is all their KYC nowadays. The second thing would be, they may ask you to disclose your health issues. After a threshold limit, here I have just showed you 25 lakhs. If you're going for 50 lakhs, 70 lakhs, depending on your age, you may have to go for a medical checkup also. And your financials also you have to declare. And if you have any hobbies like paragliding, etc., which can put you to risk of death, so that those kind of things you have to disclose. If you're a politically exposed person, so those kind of things you may have to disclose. So be careful whatever you disclose, because non-disclosure is a problem sometimes if you do not disclose, and the family may not get the benefit. So please disclose properly, because it's all works under good faith, the concept. Generally, suicide is not covered for 2 years. They feel that suicide will be only for some time. So just my dad wants to tell something.
Hello, again, I am interrupting. Yeah. I would like to say stress the main difference between the term policy and another investment plan, that is called endowment plan. And why I stress here is that I worked in an organization called National Savings Institute, which is a part of the regulatory authority of the government small savings products, such as this Public Provident Fund account, Senior Citizen Savings Scheme, Sukanya Samruddhi account. All these are government products. And my office is a part of the regulatory authority of the scheme. So I worked there for 33 years and retired recently. So I have some passion for this products and insurance. Okay. As Pratyusha explained in the example, the basic term plan for 25 lakhs, the premium payable for a 30-year old is just about around 4,263. Supposing somebody who entered the job market very recently after his college and all, he may be earning around 30,000 a month, and he can afford the premium of 4,000. And by bad luck, if he has to leave the world, his family will immediately get 25 lakhs. Okay, supposing the same person wants to go for an endowment plan instead of term plan for 25 lakhs, means if one dies anywhere within the 1 year, the family should get 25 lakhs. If that is the case, he has to pay a premium of 73,000. It's very heavy. He cannot afford to pay a 73,000 a year as a premium. But his family is in need of anyway, in his absence, 25 lakhs. So it is not at all advisable for the new entrants in a job market to go for the costly endowment plan. Instead, term plan is affordable. That is, just by paying a 4,000 a year, his family is covered for 25 lakhs. That is why we suggest basic term plan for the low income or even the middle income people, so that it won't give much. He will not get the premium back, and his family is covered for 25 lakhs at any time death happens to him, even immediately after buying the policy. And on a lighter side, I would like to say something about this term insurance plan. Am I audible? Hello? Hello?
Yes, uncle, you are audible.
Yeah. Earlier, Pratyusha told that they were on term insurance. For 30 years, the premium is around 9,500 means or 10,000. And the sum issued is 1 crore. That means somebody who has taken a term insurance policy and paid 10,000, and the next day he dies, the family will get 1 crore. 1 crore. Very nice. And if he survives, okay, he will lose that 10,000. Well and good. 10,000 is nothing, and life is more important. So it is like, supposing term insurance is like, I am a lighter side, I am speaking, buying a lottery ticket with definite prize winning chance, provided death happens. Supposing somebody purchased a lottery ticket of 10,000 worth, ticket price is 10,000, and the prize amount is 1 crore, and the prize the ticket holder's family will get whenever the ticket holder dies. Supposing the next day the ticket holder dies, and the family will immediately get 1 crore. So it is like a term insurance is like a just lottery ticket, but with definite chance of winning on the contingency of his death. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, so I got a small break. All right. So everybody who's earning, even if you are in 20s, please go for it. If you have any questions, you can ping me also. So I'm moving to health insurance. We have about 15-20 minutes time. Mostly I'll concentrate on individual plan. There is only one product here which we need to know, and some variants have come. It will just take 2 minutes each. So going to health insurance. Health insurance is also another basic need. It has to it is required to take care of yourself and family members. It protects you from the financial losses arising out of uncertain health issues. So also provides you with peace of mind when somebody is diagnosed. So you are already running for that person, and you don't want to run for the finances at that time. So you have to be reasonably insured with a health insurance plan also. What is health insurance? If there is an illness or accident that requires 24 hours hospitalization, then the insurance company will pay you both the pre-hospitalization and post-hospitalization expenses including the term of the time you are spending in the hospital. So there are cash. I mean, you need to disclose your pre-existing diseases also, so that they can cover you after 2 years, 3 years, etc. So you have a cashless treatment facility in almost all the insurance companies are giving this. So there is a network hospital, system wherein they tie up with the network. So if you go and join in a network hospital, if the illness is or the surgery or something is a pre-planned one, if you can go with your card and just submit the card, you need not pay even a single rupee. They will take care of the entire hospitalization. If at all you may not be in a position, there's an accident that has happened, somebody has joined you in the hospital, no worries, keep all the original bills. Anyway, anyway, the hospitals will give you the summary, discharge summary, and also they'll give you a consolidated bill. So with all your originals, you have to apply to your TPA, that is a third party administrator. And they will process the claim. So they will pay it. If you can say like, okay, there were a lot of scans, everything done 30 days prior, 60 days prior to that, and then they arrived that a person is having cancer or something. So 30 days prior, whatever tests you have done, you can ask for the reimbursement. Post hospitalization, there can be medicines and a lot of things like that. 60 days to post hospitalization also you can claim. I'm looking into just a small look into it, just to know your facilities. If at all something like appendicitis and all, night you got the pain, morning you're getting operated, evening you have to get discharged. There's no 24 hours hospitalization. In that case also, a surgery will be covered in the inpatient care. It's always it's a family floater, means the husband, wife plus children. Some policies they come for parents also. Domiciliary expenses are also covered. Sometimes you're getting your tests done, or something else where you saw the doctor, got the medicines, that also you can claim. I already explained pre and post hospitalization. On hospitalization, some policies come with a daily allowance. We are looking into Religery's Care Cornerstone policy. There's ambulance, they'll pay some amount. For anything, if there is a cap, say ambulance will pay only 2,000 if they say, the rest of the money you have to bear. To that extent, you have to be prepared. Lifelong renewability of the policy, that is good option. So they give some annual health checkups. These are just to attract you. So no claim bonus. If you don't claim for first 5 years, they'll give you a little more sum assured or a premium reduction. All health insurance deposits like premiums that you pay are ATD eligible. You need not pay tax on that. You have to just show in your ITRs. So what is a group plan? In addition to this, so group means you're working in a company, your company gives you insurance. So that is a group plan. Why? Because it is designed for a group called employees. All your employees are covered in that. They have designed you like that. They have designed a customized plan for all of you. So that will be a group plan. Your company will provide you with the card and all. So it is as good as individual plan. And it comes with a corporate buffer also. Means if somebody from your family who is insured along with you is hospitalized, the insurance is say for 5 lakhs, but it has got exhausted. Nowadays we know what are the bills and all. So within say 2 days it got exhausted. What you will do? You have to inform your HR of your company for releasing the corporate buffer. Generally, all major companies, they insure for some additional amount, so that in case any employee needs anything in the distress situation, they can pump in. So this is almost available to all companies, but generally we will not be knowing it, so we will not be asking them for. It is important that you inform the TPA on the 3rd day of hospitalization. It is also important that you inform the HR also. It is better. So one thing I would like to say is, let us also keep it in mind that if any of our colleagues or somebody gets hospitalized, help them with that. Inform the HR, see whether there's a corporate buffer. No, we can do it very easily. Just need to talk to the HR, help them. In our church also, we try to help someone like that. But unfortunately, some 2-3 years ago, a baby passed away. But before that, we tried to contact the HR and see whether there was a corporate buffer. So these things you can do as colleagues. You should be aware that there is something like this. In case they exhaust, so they can go for it. You need to ask them and they will release it. Yes, these group plans also come with customized benefits like maternity coverage and all, which generally individual plans may or may not give. So this is good to have your group plan, there is no doubt. But again, my suggestion is you must and should have a individual plan. Do not depend on your companies. Just see the situation outside. People are just losing the jobs. So, and there's a high chance of getting hospitalized now. So where will we go? This is that is the reason you must have an individual health insurance cover apart from what your company gives. And there is also this fact that, you know, in the same event there can be a chance of people, two or more people of your family getting this hospitalized. So what we will do in that case? So the insurance will not be enough at all. Your company must be giving you 5 lakhs, but imagine 2 or 3 people of your family are getting hospitalized at the same time. You will require an individual plan for sure, and include your parents both in your company as well as in your individual plan, even if it costs you more. If your parent has an insurance separately, that is okay. Say my dad has retired from central government, he is covered completely, so I need not worry. If that is the case, that is completely okay. But I don't think that is the case with most of us. So you have to really look into this fact. We don't want to be running around in the last moment for money. So you can just plan it a little bit properly. So this is the health insurance group plan. So what my suggestion is, take this plan, very good. Your company will give you by default, but you must also buy one on your own. Also, one more suggestion: if you have wherever you have a bank account, they will have a banking insurance partners. So again, insurance partners, no, they provide very insurance at very competitive rates. So it is very important that you know, we save on these things, because the product is similarly it's very similar. The insurance product is completely similar to what I explained, but you will get a premium benefit instead of going to, say, Religare Insurance directly. If you go to your bank and insure with a company which they have a tie-up, the premium will be competitive. That's it. I've explained the job loss, etc. So this is our bank product. Okay. Shyam uncle, you have a question? Okay, I'll just finish this in 5 minutes and we'll go for Q&A. So this is my bank, Punjab National Bank, and we have this many partners. So we have Oriental, Bajaj, Religare, Star Health, and Chola Mandalam. That is the last one. So just look at the premiums for. I'll take a 3 lakh variant. It is 7,204 rupees for Oriental Insurance for a family of 5 people. So are the other. It's a little bit variation is there, but people come to my bank and open an account just to take this insurance, because the Oriental says if you take it here, it will be 12,000, 13,000. Why don't you go to PNB, open an account and come back here, so that you know, the difference will be around 5,000 to 6,000, and this is annual premium, so you will benefit from this. As far as the products are concerned, definitely they will try to attract you with some little bit changes. I want to see Cholamandalam comes for a covers 7 people, members covered 0.37. So if you have your parents and all, you may have to go for this kind of variant, even though premium is high, little high. So I sorry, there are a lot of this is a blurred image, but I've explained everything here. 30 days hospitalization, pre, post, what they give, room charges, there can be a cap. Cholamandalam gives you single standard AC room. Rest of them give you 1% of the sum assured. So if your policy is 5 lakhs, if your room costs 7,500, you have, in Sakra it costs 7,500. Recently we had an issue. So 5,000 company will pay, rest 2,500 you have to bear. And ICU charges, Ayush treatment if you are going for Ayurveda or something, ambulance, some these are all like just to attract you, they will keep all these things, but the normal variants are same. yeah, that's it. So no need to look at lifelong renewal is also one thing you need to look into. The first Oriental is giving and Cholamandalam is giving that, because you may require at the age of 80, if you go, nobody will give you insurance because it's very certain that you will have health ailments. So you need to plan it properly. Take an individual plan, keep it running. What is Corona Kavach? This is the latest product approved by the insurance regulatory, and for 9.5 months, the least premium is Future Generally. For 5 lakhs coverage, they are giving for 839 rupees. So if anybody gets Corona and gets admitted, then 5 lakhs sum assured costs you 839 as the least of the premiums. Again, I would suggest please go for your banking insurance partner so that you will get a competitive premium. And personal accident insurance, everybody, Joshua brother also asked me, personal accident insurance, this is Oriental Nagarik Suraksha. It comes with a very cheap premium. What it covers is people who are, most of us are all in the mobiles, we all ride bikes and all. So there can be accident injuries. It will cover both accident as well as death, and a maximum sum assured of 5 lakhs. It costs you 318 rupees. That's it. So instead of loading this in your life insurance plan, better you can go for something like this, personal accident insurance. So that's all I just wanted to tell you, and let us have a recap of everything, and then I'll move on to Q&A. So at the base of the pyramid, you must have a savings account for everybody, everyone in your family. You must have a PPF account for all of you, because one thing is long-term saving. If you get a salary of 10,000 rupees, first we'll pay our tithe, all of us pay our tithes, and on top of that, just think about it, like how much you can save for a long-term purpose, even if it is 500,000 or less than that. Put it in your PPF, it will save you someday. And Sukanya account for your girl child specifically, you can use that. And senior citizen account for parents, if required for quarterly income. Parents may require quarterly income most likely, so go for it. And life insurance term plan, again 20 to 30 times of your current income. That is how you need to calculate, and make proper nominations. Nominations you can make if you're a married person. There is something like Married Women Property Act. Even if you nominate your parents, the money may not go to your parents completely. If your wife contests, it has to go for her also. So if companies allow you to make multiple nominations, do that. Like nominate your parents and nominate your wife as well. And nomination does not mean the person will enjoy the entire money. Nomination means he is only a legal heir whom you are entrusting to take care of all people who are likely to suffer financial loss out of your absence. So make proper nominations. Keep then take health insurance, mandatory. These are all mandatory things: life insurance, health insurance for all the family members, including dependent parents. Do not leave anybody. If you have a fourth child, find out who is giving and ensure that it is included, like your fourth child is also included. Keep the copy of your health insurance card with your with every member of your family. So you will get the downloaded cards. Keep it with everybody, and keep all your passbooks, policy documents, medical records in separate files. Nominate properly, discuss once in a while with your family. It is very important. Even if you have insurance, if the family doesn't know, it's very difficult to claim and all this requires some documentation also. You can also write policy documents. As far as insurance is concerned, policy document is very important. You have to keep it really safe. All medical records separately, and your passbooks, FD receipts, etc. separately. Keep it with every family member, the insurance card, and all adults can know what are the details. So you can discuss with your spouse and parents what insurance you have, to what extent, and how to claim, unless you are like skeptical that they'll kill you for that insurance. So yeah, there should be healthy discussions. So any grievances? Who are the regulatories for bank products? Reserve Bank of India. You may have to write to the concerned bank first and then to the banking ombudsman. In insurance, it is the Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India. And companies, you have to first write to the insurance company and then to the ombudsman. Means if your complaint is not addressed properly by the concerned company, then you have to write to the ombudsman. So regarding post office schemes and all, Ministry of Finance, Government of India. First level is National Savings Institute, New Delhi. This is regarding your PPF, SSA, SESS, etc. First you should know the product really well, read about the product and then take it. Kindly avoid any mistakes while taking these kind of products. If at all there is a grievance, if bank makes any mistake, etc., you can ask the bank first, then you can write to the National Savings Institute. This is the institute where my father worked and retired for about 33 years. Yeah. So he was regional director there. He was heading the southern region. So mostly if you have any questions regarding this, you can contact my father also. Ministry of Finance, Department of Economic Affairs. This is the final authority for all these post office schemes. So these are the regulatories and grievance redressal system. Yeah, Q&A. So I'm done. You can ask me the questions now. Any questions?
On banking products and
Some
insurance.
chat questions. They're on the chat. Anything related to? Just let me have a look in the chat. Somebody is asking questions. Okay. Yeah, Daisy Chichi is telling post office nowadays operate like bank with debit cards and internet banking. So post office are very good, approachable. That's what she's telling, and they give you good interest rate also. Okay. Please suggest a plan. Sham uncle is asking. Okay. Plans are like, see, the regulatories are very strong in our country. If you have a doubt like which plan I should take, whether LIC or SBI Life, or shall I go to iPru, it is up to you. I did not suggest much because I do have a policy from SBI Life. It's an online term plan. I took it online. When I was working there, I took it. We had taken it because one of our sir said like all of us must take it and all, and you won't believe, after 2 months of taking the policy, one of my junior colleague, he met with an accident and he expired. Actually, he was so poor he couldn't afford to pay the premium. He opted for a quarterly premium, so he just paid 1,500 and after 45 days he died. His family got 25 lakhs. So when he was dying also, he told somebody like, I don't have anyone, please take care of my family, I don't know, please doctor, please save my life. That's what he told to the doctor. It was very heart wrenching. He just fell from the bike. He didn't realize there was some blood clotting in the hand. After 2 days he got admitted and all. He left a wife and a small child of 2-year-old. His parents were fighting for the money, so the company has to give them, even though the nomination was on the wife's name, they had convinced them to take it properly. So whenever you nominate, also just see that, you know, this kind of unpleasant things are avoided. Nominate properly, proportionately. So that is one thing. And all plans are good. ICICI, which I discussed, was for a longer term. It will give you insurance for about more than 70-80 years also. So that is, iProtect was good. Insurance, anything. LIC also has term insurance, you can go for that, or SBI Life's term plan, you can go. Okay. Actually, Sham uncle is my father's friend. Uncle, he retired from forest department. He's a very good friend of us. So uncle is asking me to please suggest a plan for a salary or a family earning 10 to 12 lakhs a year. So if you are earning 10 to 12 lakhs a year, the calculation would be 3 crore, 12 lakhs into 30 times. 3.6 crores is required. So do not hesitate. You have to get it insured because that is what is required for the entire family. For about 3 to 5 crores, so 20 to 30 times. All plans will be good. All regulated.
That will be a huge amount, right?
It is required, Anna. It is required in the absence of that person because you are contributing that to your family. Yeah, tell me.
I think it depends on how much period we are in an earning position, right?
Okay. So what do you mean? Like, okay. In that case, there are some plans. So you have to even it out. If you are planning that you are not going to earn after your 50 years, or you want to stop your career at 50, do something else, then just see what amount you would require, and you can go for a single premium plan. Then you may have to deposit a lump sum and take term insurance. But even if you go for single, also the premium will be very competitive.
No, what I'm saying is it depends on how many years we will be in an earning state, right? And during that time, if we pass away, so that the family can benefit. After that, we'll not be in a position to pay the premiums as well.
Yeah, that's what. So the thing is, if I am earning
for 3 crore, about 3,000 only premium for 30-year man.
Okay, for 3 crore for a 30-year-old, the premium will come to about 10,000. First very 10,000.
No.
Okay.
Based on the income, but age was not come into consideration, I think. So age is also need to be considered, and the duration also considered.
Age was also.
How many years we are going to work and also that.
No, I just took the example of 30 years, but I showed a premium chart wherein the ICICI showed for 45 years also. Just a second. What I mean to say is you have to first find out like what income you are contributing to your family. So if say till the age of 50 you are going to contribute 1 lakh, so you will have your own calculations as to what you will do after that, right? So the thing is like you have to find out the quantum. So for an earning person, right now, if you are a 20-year-old, 30-year-old, this is how you calculate. 20 to 30 times is required. So if you're planning to stop your career in between, so you will be having your own calculations monthly. What is my income? So for that income, you can take insurance. So that you have to work on individual level. However, just
it depends. It varies.
It varies. Yes.
Any other?
Yeah, somebody asked me about ULIP. I'll just come. Anna, see here. If you are a 50-year-old, you are paying for 1 crore insurance 41,000. Okay. Praveen, Anna.
Yes.
So just look at this chart wherein for the base variant, that is a life variant. If you are a 50-year-old person, just an example, 41,000 is the premium. What I mean to say is if you enter late, the premium is more for the same coverage. Okay. So right now, if you have a plan that I'll only earn for 20 years, so you have to see what kind of expenses you will have averaged throughout your career, like 30 years like that. So this is generally for your earning period. That is true.
So,
sir, till when the family needs that money actually in the terms?
One is till the time you are earning, the requirement is very high, especially till the time of the education of your children. Even marriage sometimes is expensive. Post that, your requirement may come down, so you can reduce it accordingly. With the same plan, you can reduce accordingly. So there are they have this flexibility. I didn't go through the options, so you can reduce or increase also. A person who is 20,
we need to go for the term and the sum assured and all.
Yeah, the sum assured, most of the plans are very flexible nowadays. This brochure is almost 30-40 pages. I just took this excerpt only. So what I want to tell is, if a person who is age 20 right now is hearing this and wants to take a term insurance, they may take it for say 50 lakhs. They may feel that, okay, 50 lakhs, theek hai, mere liye kafi hai. But tomorrow when he gets married at the age of 30-35, he may require more. So you can actually increase it. And as you said, you're going to reduce, or you want to take a break after some time, you can reduce it accordingly. Or if you are planning to have a lifestyle of the same standard, then you have to bear the premium. There is no go about it. And this is just like, first of all, the insurance is issued to you on the basis of your financial status. Just like that, we will not get 1 crore cover. I have to show my salary slips. I have to show like my worth, that yeah, I'm earning this much, so I will be putting my family to risk up to this extent. So there are a lot of things into it. So you have to assess how much is required. You can adjust accordingly, reduce or increase. But if you feel you need the same cover, you have to bear the premium. Either a single premium can also be opted, wherein you don't pay yearly. You will just pay a lump sum and then relax. That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
One more question. Just a second.
But just on that,
Yeah.
Pratyusha, I think the cap of how much, there is a cap on how much, based on our income, how much we can get the coverage for, right?
Yes. Monica, what happens is they will ask you for the ITRs. Unless you're taking for 3 lakhs, 10 lakhs and all, for housewives and all, they will not ask you the income proofs. But above that, you have to definitely show your copies of your last 3 years ITRs. They will arrive on the basis of your average income. This is the standard. 20 to 30 times is the standard. So every insurance company will agree to it. They do not have any issues giving it. Again, when the sum assured is more, they will ask you to go for a medical. They may ask you further questions. If salaried class, there will not be generally much questions. If it is a business class, ITRs will vary every year. So they may ask some more documents and all. But generally what they will see is what was your earning capacity in the last 2-3 years. So that is the thing.
Okay. And there are other options where instead of paying for 30 years, in 5 or 6 years, you can pay the premium, right?
Yeah, like I said, there are a couple of options wherein we can pay the total premium over a period of 7 years or over a period of 10 years. So that way, like when we are earning, we can cover the premium.
Yes. But keep it in mind that you go for only term insurance in any case, okay? Because this premium paying term variants in term insurance is okay. But if it is a ULIP or something, then it is not worth it. I mean, I feel you can manage the rest of your money better in your own hands, rather than giving them to go for a ULIP and all. So generally this premium paying term concept comes in other plans where I showed endowment or ULIP, etc., money back plans, etc. So see that you go for a term plan, and if they are giving you a premium paying term separately, which is not the policy term, means your policy term is 30 years and your premium payment term is only 5 years, you can go for it. It's provided it is a term plan. I suggest only term plan.
Yeah, so some of the companies do offer. In fact, I have a different approach as far as term is concerned. So I've taken 2 terms.
Okay.
One, normally what I suggest is to calculate the amount you would require. So suppose Aaron is 8 years right now. So by the time he completes his education, say it will be another 15 or 18 years. So I take one term plan which give me a coverage for 18 years.
Okay.
And the second one, which of a lower value, because then the expenses would be lesser. So then Aaron would be established by himself. So then I need not to think about it, but I need to think of my wife. So then the second term insurance I take with a reduced amount that will suffice even for a longer term. So that way I don't have to switch or reduce because the laws may change.
Yeah.
So that is also another suggestion I think one should.
Very nice. I think this answers Praveen Anna's query. Yeah. So earlier the age, the premium is lower. So the thing is, what Sunil Bhaiya has done is very nice. Like he has calculated correctly, like till for his son, what is the requirement, and till that age he has taken a bigger cover, and then for a longer term he has reduced the coverage and paying the lower premium. Yeah, this is good, this is good. And some endowment plans come with a child plans and all. It's all the same variant, they just put the names differently. So if you want to go for a child plan, okay, but in child plans what they do is if something happens to the parent, they pay out one sum assured, and again they'll pay one more sum assured on the end of the plan, so that the child's education is taken care at that moment. But I feel like if you have sufficient term insurance, that should be fine. Instead of a term insurance of 25 lakhs, if your family is getting only 5 lakhs in the name of a child plan, we need to think about it. So yeah, that's very nice from Sunil Anna, what I heard, how he planned. Somebody is asking me a question. I joined late. Can you tell me about ULIP plans? Okay. Okay. Just 2 minutes, I will tell you this. So here I have explained two ULIPs. One is Smart Elite and Smart Wealth Builder, the last two variants. So what happens here is the insurance company will give you a death benefit, means something happens to me during the policy period, they will pay you sum assured. If you survive the policy period, they will give you fund value. What is this fund value? I mean, whatever money, say 2,50,000, you invest, they will deduct a part of the risk premium for providing you sum assured, and they will keep it aside. Say that is 4,500 something. Rest 2,45,000. What they will do is they will put in market linked equities, bonds, etc. They are very they are risky, but okay. Why mixing it with insurance? That's what I felt like. However, if you see example, you will have lot of funds there. You have to choose the fund, and the insurance company will put it in that fund. But these are the funds, they are managed completely by the insurance company. So you do not have a say where they are investing, what they are investing. However, this is how it works. In the first plan, I've taken equity 50, balanced fund 50, second fund some equity, and top 300. So if they will invest, but if at all the market is down at the time when you are when your policy is maturing, you may end up getting lesser value than what you have invested. In the last plan, 2,50,000 into 30 years, you will be paying 75 lakh rupees to the company for ULIP. You may get your 75 lakhs, you may not get your 75 lakhs, because this is market oriented one. So so you can take a decision accordingly. I think I answered that question. Molly, Mrs. Molly, okay. Any other questions or any other questions?
I have a small question. Yeah. Earlier only Life Insurance Corporation, a public sector company, is operating. Now, besides the LIC, that is which is under government control, there are so many private companies operating the insurance. We have a doubt, our general population has a doubt whether it is safe to go to the life insurance companies under the private sector, such as the Ralligare or ICICI or some other, or should we go to the life insurance corporation only? So what is your view?
My view is the first thing you consider taking an insurance plan is the claim settlement ratio. Whether it is a government company or the private company, you have to see the rate at which they are settling the claims. Means 100 of us go, 100 people go, tell that somebody has died. Are they paying everybody or are they denying? Generally, everybody is above 90%. All are admitting claims. Roughly 95 to 98 is a very good percentage. You can just check in the net and go for the plan. And as far as the financial status of these insurance companies is concerned, the Insurance Regulatory Development Authority is very strong. They take care of the things, the balance sheet, etc. If there are any adversities, they do suggest them also. In our country, it is very strong. The private and the MNC partnership, everything is regulated really well. No need to worry about any company as such. So all have sufficient capital to operate. Even the one which has come into the market recently will have sufficient capital to market and pay your claims. Everything is taken care. So no need to worry that this company will fail me while taking a plan, but you have to definitely look into the claims settlement ratio while taking a plan.
So it does not make any difference whether you go with a government company or a private company.
It doesn't make any difference. All Oriental or LIC or Religare, all are good, no issues.
Okay, thank
No
you.
problem. So I come from, I've studied in IRDS college, so I'm very confident that IRDA will take care nicely. So the capital, everything is managed well. Anything else? Anything else, or I will pray and close?
Ask Sunil.
Sunil Anna, everything is fine?
Yeah, from a claim settlement ratio, I probably would not look at that only the criteria, because for a company like LIC, which has about 98% claim settlement ratio, the number of claims also would matter, because they are getting 1 lakh claims, but a new company who's just come in, they might only be having 1,000 claims. So the percentage may be equal, but then the amount and the historical value, I think that also plays a more important role, that how much their claim settlement ratio is over a period of at least 5 years. Because a new company may have only 1,000 customers, but an older company like LIC may be having 1 lakh customers. So 1 lakh, when they are doing a claim settlement for 1 lakh in comparison to 1,000, the percentage may still sound same, but when the number increases, that also should be an indication, I think.
Correct. So the basis at which the claim settlement ratio is arrived at differs depending on the number of years a company is operating. So yeah, that we can do a study at a personal level and decide on that. But from my side, I would say all are strong. So no need to worry. If they have the capacity to pay, they will pay. So where is this claim settlement ratio is coming is, say if somebody has diabetes and they don't disclose it, when you go to a hospital, doctor will write suffering from diabetes from last 20 years. So there's no point in hiding anything. With health ailments, no, it will just come out on the paper. So you have to be very careful. Even if you have to pay an additional premium, go for it, disclose, pay that small additional premium, and then get yourself covered. So that is the best thing to do. So this kind of things, they may sometimes say you have not told, so we are not going to pay. And all these things. So however, the regulatory is also there. If you feel your case is genuine, please go for it.
Give 5 minutes more time. Otherwise you can-
Shall I give a ULIP plan? I am struggling with it. Can I stop? How to stop it? I paid premium for 2 years. I didn't know about it till the second premium was paid this year. Okay. Can I have the policy details, Uncle? Can you just ping me the policy
Later.
later? I will look into it. Okay, I'll just tell you what can be done with that. So yeah, we are done for the day. Sorry, I took a lot of time, half an hour extra.